Hey everybody, it is Tuesday and it's 2 o'clock, so that means it's time for Top 5 Tuesday. I am your host, Kate Dillon, and I'm glad that you're all here today. I want to talk about what we're giving away this week, and that is our sling grip, and it has Crate Insider on it, so I can put it up close here. This is what it looks like on the card there when they're brand new. Otherwise, this is how it looks on a phone, and it makes it so it's really easy to hold on to your phone. I've been using them now. I guess we've had them for about a week with the Crate Insider logo, but I actually sampled out a test one and just loved it, so we just had to get some. So that is what we're giving away on the show. All you need to do is leave a comment. You can say hi, you can leave an emoticon, or you can even ask a question. I love seeing questions on the show, and I really try to answer those. So go ahead and jump in there, and at the end of this, we'll do just doing a drawing using random number generator based on the number of comments and such. We also have a second drawing for those of you who are loyal and come back week after week. If you remember what my sign said last week, drop that in as a comment, and we really do a separate drawing for just the people who knew what my sign said. But with that, let's go ahead and talk about a couple of the featured items this week. So one is that we've released a couple of videos. We went to Butler Built just in the last couple of weeks, and so we put out a video talking about how to measure for a seat and all of the different pieces of actually sitting in a seat and making sure that seat's going to work best for you. So we did that video, and that went out. And then we also had the chance to have a shop tour at Butler Built. And I found that really interesting, just to see the sheer mass of what they do there is just really amazing. So we have another video. Chris Ferguson was so gracious and taking us behind the scenes right there at Butler Built, even to the areas in the restricted areas, which was a lot of fun. So we had a lot of fun doing that. You can check out that video. Another thing that we've posted, in case if you haven't listened to podcasts before, podcasts are kind of like videos, except for it's just sound and there's no video, but you can plug it into your car, and you're using your smartphone. I know that mine will hook up to my car with a USB, or you can just listen. Maybe you're on a walk or you're in the shop, any of those, but you can find it on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify. I already said iTunes. Let's see, what's the other one? SoundCloud, and of course the website Racing Insiders Podcast. So this week we had a chance to talk with Vicki Emig from Rush Racing Series, and it was really interesting to hear about some of the promotions that she's done over the years. And there's just a lot to learn there. I mean, she's one heck of a promoter, and I'm really proud to call her my friend. And it was really cool to be able to get a little of that history and get that out there. So that was our interview that we released yesterday, and I hope you'll check that out. So that's the podcast. Now with that, those are our highlight items of the week, but we also have a couple of new products. And one thing that people have been asking about for a long time has been, do we sell any lightweight gears? And we haven't, but we have decided to bring on the PEM lightweight gears here. And these are, I should know how much lighter they are, but I don't. The cool thing is, look how it's like drilled in here in the little holes drilled out to help it make it lighter than your standard gears. So we expect that those will be pretty darn popular. Very excited. And those run $139 for a set. And we've got a whole chart to show you, which gears there are. And the only gears we're selling from PM right now are just those lightweight gears. So you can check those out. And of course, we're dropping links into the comments so you can see that right there. We also have another new tool. Alex, will you hand me the valve spring tool? Alex, can you hand me the tool? Sorry, this is what happens when you're on live video. You just don't know. This was an interesting tool that came to us that some guys just want the old school way of changing valve springs. And so now we have this valve spring changing tool. Of course, we still have our valve spring changing tool from LSM Racing Products. We love their products. But if you're looking for an inexpensive, really quick solution here, definitely a little bit more manual. I probably wouldn't be strong enough to use it, but a lot of you guys would be. But it's aluminum, and it looks cool, kind of a fun look to it. And these run $45.99 is what these run, the valve spring changing tools. All right, so that brings us to top 5, but I want to check out the comments and see if we have any questions over here. And, oh good, I'm glad that everybody can hear me now. And let's see. Oh, somebody asked if I found a scratch and dent 602. I have not found a scratch and dent 602. The scratch and dent section is something we just added in the last week or so. And I have to say, it's been so popular, it just really wiped out what we had in that section. But I know as we run across more of those scratch and dent products, we'll continue to add them to that section. So just keep an eye on that every once in a while, for sure. Let's see. And I'm just seeing if there's any other questions over here. Lots of people from all over the place. And there we go. So with that, let's go ahead and jump into the top 5. In the number 5 spot this week is a really, these are always all the most popular products, but it's our fast fire wire. And this comes with all 8 wires plus the coil wire. It has this awesome heat shield on the outside. Each of the wires, they're different measurements so that they they're fit for a crate engine. Well, I mean, actually any of the Chevy engines, to be honest, but it's got that great header design or under header design so that you've got all of the wires that are the perfect lengths for what you need. And this set of spark plug wires runs $159.99, and that is in the number 5 spot. Next up, in the number 4 spot this week is our Daytona 1 3060 gear oil. So if you're looking for a great gear oil for your quick change rear end, this is a fantastic choice for you. And in fact, one of the things I tend to talk about when I'm talking about gear oil is I end up talking about parasitic drag. And for the first time, I'm actually having a gear in my hand here to be able to explain that a little bit better. So as these gears, whoosh around, what can happen is they're picking up grease. And before you know it, just that centrifugal force, instead of the gear being this size, ends up being like this size because, well, I mean, the gear itself isn't, but with all of that extra oil that gathers on it, it can just end up being really, really large. That isn't what you want. You don't want that. You want it to be, you want to use the gears that you're using. And so that it just ends up being drag is what happens when you have all that extra oil on those gears. So with the 3060 gear oil, it definitely lessens that parasitic drag, cuts down on the friction. So you also then cut down on heat is a big, big issue with that, with anything in your gearbox. So that's why we recommend the Daytona 1 3060 gear oil. And it runs, let's see, $68.19 for a gallon. We have it in quarts as well. The better deal is definitely the gallon, but if you find that you just need a quart or two, you can pick one of those up as well. All right, so next up in the number 3 spot is our 4-blade 19-inch race fan. Now, race fan also is available as a 17-inch fan. So if you don't have a shroud that will accommodate a 19-inch fan, then you can do a 17-inch fan instead. And this is, we always put these together because I always like to show people that they're interchangeable blades. So of course this has bolts, bolts and washers and all of that to really secure this. But in the meantime, what's nice is, see, this is what's cool is that they're interchangeable blades. So maybe one gets a chip on it, so you just want to replace a blade, or you want to go from a 4-blade fan to a 3-blade fan or to a 2-blade fan. You can very easily do that by just moving the blades, and then you've got a 3-blade, a 2-blade, whatever you need there. So the 4-blade race fan, it runs $265 is what that runs. All right, next up in the number 2 spot this week is our Walker air filter. Now this is an oiled air filter, and a big question I get, is it pre-oiled? Yes, it is pre-oiled. It is ready for you to take out of the package and just go ahead and pop it on top of your air filter base, and you are ready to go. And then this is cleanable and washable, and then you can re-oil it. And in fact, someone even messaged me last week, and they're like, Kate, sure would have been helpful for us to have a video that shows how to re-oil these filters. And I was like, actually, we do have that. And so I sent him a link, and he was really surprised. But yeah, we do try to cover a lot of things in video, and that's one of them that is a question. You do not want to over oil a filter, because if you over oil your filter, then all you're going to do is restrict access, restrict air, and we don't want that. We want the perfect amount of oil so that it can protect the filter and block some of the dust, but you definitely don't want to over oil any filter. So a little is good, a lot is not better. All right, so that brings us to our top spot this week. And in the number 1 spot, here we go, is our Klotz oil. And this week it's Klotz oil by the case is our most popular item. And this is available. It's also available. You can buy it by the quart. We also have an oil change kit that includes 7 quarts plus an oil filter. But the case of Klotz, it runs $139.90, and they're 10 quarts to a case. And the whole idea is I want you guys to be able to get the amount of oil that you actually need and not necessarily try to do price breaks or anything. So instead, like if you just wanted to buy the quart, it is really just that case price divided by 10. So that way, whether you buy it by the quart or you buy it by the case, you're getting a great deal either way. And it's just fair for everybody. And that way you can get what you need. So with that, I'm going to take a look and see if there's any other comments here or questions that anyone has. Let's see. And let's see. Oh, somebody asked, missed it. Did I ever get a name for my cat? Yes, I did. His name is Boo Boo. I only tried out like 100 names, and that's the one he finally answered to. And Boo Boo is a killer. He brings me all kinds of presents. And so, yeah, he's a hard hitter. Somebody just asked, what height is the filter? We call this a 4-inch filter. It actually ends up being about 5 inches with the urethane that's on here, but the element itself is a 4-inch filter right there. Then that's why it's classified as a 4-inch filter. You do need, if you want to go with an outerwears on that, you definitely need the oversized ones. We only sell one air filter. We only sell one outerwears. The two go together. So I really do try to make things as simple as possible for everybody, including myself as well. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and bring up my random number generator, and I've got Alex helping me in the office today, and he's going to help me find some winners here while I look at more comments here. So just one moment. And all right, so I'm going to give him a little Post-it note here, and he's going to, great. Okay, so we're coordinating our efforts here, and he'll have a couple of names for me here very shortly. Great. There we go. So I'm going to take a look at some more comments while we're doing that. I lost the lid. Oh, there's my Sharpie right there. Okay, so let's see. What height is the Walker? We talked about the Walker air filter. And in fact, let me go ahead and grab my tape measure because, there we go. Because I knew I had it right here. So let's go ahead and actually look at the exact specifics on this. So the filter itself, you can see there's the 4-inch element right there. But if we're going from the inside so we can get the whole height, the overall height, we're almost exactly at 5 inches. Yeah, we can kind of see that. All right, so somebody asked, can you buy the air filter cleaner separate from the oil and cleaner pack? No, I don't sell the cleaner separate. No one's ever asked that before. I do sell the oil separately, but I don't necessarily have the cleaner as a separate item. That's a question I'll just go ahead and throw out there and see what I can find out from Walker if they package it that way. And if that's the case, then that's certainly something we could take a look at doing right there. Okay, so Steve Shaw Jr., you are one of our winners today. So Steve, if you could please send me a private message with your address, then I'll be able to send you our little sling grip here, wherever. I have quite the messy desk right now here. This is what we're giving away as our sling grip, and it's an iPhone or phone holder there. And then Mike Tilley. So Mike Tilley, you also, if you would, please send me a private message with your address, and then I will go ahead and get that sent out to you. In the meantime, I want to thank each and every one of you for being here. Thank you for being part of Crate Insider. I will look forward to seeing you next week on Tuesday at 2 o'clock for Top 5 Tuesday.